And we're now live with today, September 17th, Litvak Leadership with my special guest, Michelle Jessee Vincent. She's a three-name person.
I am.
And, it seems like women are three-name people. I'm assuming Jessee is your maiden name as opposed to your middle name?
Jessee is indeed my maiden name. Actually, Michelle is my given middle name. I've always gone by my middle name.
So what's your real first name?
I think you know this, Sean. You just have forgotten.
Probably so.
My real first name is Randy with an I, R-A-N-D-I.
Yeah, of course. So you're Randy Michelle.
Randy Michelle Jessee Vincent. Yes.
Randy Michelle, Jessee Vincent. That's a lot to say.
It is a lot. It is.
Now you're from here in Louisville because I'm in Southern Indiana, but who says I live in Southern Indiana? Everyone says I live in Louisville when you're talking to people far away. And you've been here forever.
Forever.
So when you went to school initially, were you Randy Michelle? Or were you Randy? Or were you Michelle? Who were you? What were you?
Interestingly enough, Sean, when I was born, my family called me Shelley, and a significant number of folks still call me Shelley. Okay. And when I went to school, I was Michelle. The only time I was called Randy was there's a substitute teacher or something like that when they're looking at the roll book. But really the only time Randy Michelle, as you well know, when I was in trouble, my mother would call me Randy Michelle. And then I had an aunt, one of my favorite aunts, who always called me Randy Michelle. But other than that, Michelle.
Yeah. So substitute teachers called you Randy. Substitute teachers called me Cian because they were ignorant. So
yeah.
And my favorite question was always, Sean. Who spells Sean like that?
Yeah, that's like scene. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, in second grade, my answer was Sean Connery. Imagine a little second grade Sean saying, Sean Connery.
I would have expected no less from you, Sean. So
the first question, as people are rolling in here, and truth be told, I told Michelle I was going to ask her about this. What did you do with your hair during the lockdown when everything was shut down? Because for me, buzz shears are just a way of life, but you've got hair. So
I got a lot. Yeah. I don't think you even have all of it really in the frame. As I told you, ponytails, doggy ears, those were my best friend. And I really wasn't going out anywhere.
Yeah.
The thing that has frustrated me most and continues to, and I shared with you, I need to have my natural color touched up. So that's the thing that's killing me now.
So have you considered doing like a whole Kelly Ripa thing where, she's showing her gray progression as she tries to hide it?
I'm only halfway sure who Kelly Ripa is, so I apologize. But the only gray that I'm showing is just purely by accident. It's just because I haven't been able to get it fixed. But my hair, I don't know why I'm going on your show and saying this, but my hair actually has been 100% gray since I was pregnant the last time. I guess I was 35.
Okay.
So there you go.
So you were like a silver fox.
I'm sorry?
You were like a silver fox going on.
You know what? We're never going to really know, Sean. I know. So.
Because the natural's hair.
That's right.
All right.
It is naturally blonde. Maybe not this particular hue.
Yes. And it was naturally blonde at one point, therefore it's naturally blonde forever. Moving on.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. And hey, quick shout out to all the Mega Minders. This is a great opportunity to screenshot various expressions of Michelle's face for when we have meetings. So just throwing that out there for the Mega Minders. All right. So you are the VP of Staffing for Ahead Human Resources. So I got to ask you, because being in the janitorial industry, I think you and I may deal with some of the same people. What special characteristics are there about an individual who would rather work for a temp agency than work for a go in the same place every day organization?
Okay, that's a big question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you
It's a big show, big show,
okay.
big questions.
Okay, I'll try to fill it up. I'm going to give you a short-ish answer. First of all, individuals find themselves working for a temporary service or working as a contingent laborer for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it is truly they have been laid off, they've been furloughed. Now, we're seeing that.
Sure.
Lots of reasons why they may just be looking for help. And increasingly, particularly in the blue collar industry,
Sure.
companies are utilizing temporary services more and more. Okay.
Mhm.
So if you want in at a particular company, chances are good that you will be going through a temp service for that. Okay. Not everybody's a fan of that, but that is what we're seeing more and more every day. Significantly more now than we were even 2 years ago. Okay. Good news for my industry. Some folks don't like that, but that is the reality. And then there are people who just for whatever reason want to work for a finite period of time, make a little money,
Right.
maybe then coast for a while and then pick something back up, or a situation where one partner in the household is working, the other isn't. Maybe they kind of go back and forth. Lots of people have lots of different reasons, but I think sometimes the temporary industry has a bad rap that these are people who cannot hold a job. That absolutely is not true.
I've never said that.
Yeah. Now I know, of course you haven't, but
Never.
some of that, full disclosure, some of that reputation has been earned.
Right.
In any industry, you've got people who are, go-getters who are going to go out there and give it 100%. And then you've got those who are not, and they're going to lose that position, regardless if they're working in a full-time capacity or if they're working for a temp service. So all kinds of reasons. I'm not sure I answered your question, but there is really, truly no one answer. Particularly now, I will find myself, a company will call and say, hey, I'm going to have to let go 5 or 6 folks. Is there a way that maybe you could work with them? So I'll go work with them. We will work on their resume, their interview skills, that type of thing, just to help them. And either we find them a job or we don't. Maybe they are able to secure a job on their own, but we want to give them the tools to make them successful.
So my question is, how are you guys cost competitive? Because in my experience, now we work on really thin margins in the janitorial industry.
Mm-hmm.
You guys use a certain multiplier. And once we take your multiplier, labor times multiplier, we look at that number in our industry and we're like, there ain't no way we can pay that. Mm-hmm. But I know you're super successful. So how do you overcome that?
When individuals drill down, they have all of their data in front of them. They know all of their burden. They know what their risk is actually costing them. They've got the true dollar value in front of them. Then you start weighing maybe soft dollar values, time, my trouble, my headaches. A lot of people think, okay, and I'm going to do this on a low pay scale just to keep the math simple for my brain. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's say we're paying the person $10 an hour.
Okay.
We are charging the the client, our client, we're charging them $14 an hour. Okay.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me how many people think we're pocketing $4 when we're really, per hour.
There's payroll taxes in there.
Yeah, there's everything. We're really pocketing, we're not a not-for-profit.
Right.
It's less than $1. So when companies weigh this and they really look at it, like I said, they really drill down, they have to think, is it worth, because it's going to cost them the same amount to employ and recruit this person as it is us. Okay. They're going to have that same burden. And you know what? Let's say the person works for them for 12 weeks. They decide this isn't the person that they want. So now in the state of Kentucky, it is their unemployment reserve account that's going to be hit.
Yeah. Now
If it
there's a soft
doesn't work
cost we
out for
can
you for
talk
12
about.
weeks, you call me, I send you somebody else.
Right.
That is, I mean, and it could be it could be the same day, depending on the situation. So I incur all of the risk and all of the burden. So really it's, you look at it and you say, okay, is it worth this 50 cents an hour or whatever it is, for me to have to go through all of the stuff that goes with being an employer? So I don't tend to, because I do both sales and operations, Sean.
Right.
I don't tend to try, and by tending to, I don't ever try to sell the idea of temporary staffing to a company. They either operate that way, they, are willing to adapt that into their company culture and their staffing model, or they're not. So I don't try to, to reinvent the wheel there. I only call on companies who either are using or have used contingent labor in the past.
So got a question. How did singing with the band Foreigner prepare you for your current career?
Singing with the band Foreigner opened my eyes to a lot of things.
Okay.
um,
And tell us about that. How did that happen?
Well, it was kind of a situation of being in the right place at the right time. It's because I was a music major at the University of Louisville,
Right.
and that's how that happened.
More than a music major, you have your master's in music.
Yes, and you know what you do with that? You sell temporary staffing and staffing division. That's what you do with that. But my school was free.
Okay.
So you got to love that. And I wouldn't trade that experience for anything. I think about, what I'm doing now in my career, and would it behoove me to have had, a business background? Well, sure, it would have.
Yeah.
I was able to obtain lots of things from the music background and from the performing and from being with Foreigner, singing "I Want to Know What Love Is," wearing a choir robe. Just a lot about life, different kinds of people. We don't all think the same way. We don't all present ourselves the same way, but I like being in front of people. Obviously, I have no problem speaking. Okay.
You are very shy. So shy.
Yes, I always never had a shy bone in my body. But, I started singing really when I was 2 years old. So it's not anything that is foreign to me at all. It's just a part of what I've always done. Actually, I'm singing far less now than I ever have in any time in my life.
So what is your go-to song when someone says, sing something for 30 seconds? What is your go-to?
Something, Sean, nobody ever asks me that. Nobody ever asks me to, not what my song would be, but what nobody ever wants me to sing. And I actually don't do it very well anymore. When you go from spending 6 hours a day in a practice room, which was what I was doing at one point in my life, to, in the shower, in the car, maybe, it's different. When I'm in the car, I find myself singing, and I understand that I'm not answering your question. Okay.
That's okay. I may ask it again.
It's probably going to be something Barbra Streisand, because she's Barbara. She's Barbara. But I don't tend to listen to her so much. Now I'm on someone you've probably never heard of, but you should have. Lucy Woodward. I'm listening to Lucy Woodward like crazy. And I was fortunate enough to be able to see her in a tiny little club in Nashville last year and meet her. And she was just a lovely lady. And I really like her a lot. So, I've got kind of strange, kind of eclectic musical tastes.
So when you were crowned Greek goddess in college during Greek Week, was there a talent portion where you sang?
As much as I would love to say that there was.
No.
There wasn't.
No.
So next subject, please, Sean.
Okay, so you were president of Chios in college, and I think back to my college days in my fraternity, and the president of our fraternity each year got the biggest room in the house because he had more of an apartment than a room. And he was on the main floor, so he could be close to the parties when we had them. Was it the same thing being the president of Chios? Because I'll be honest, at the University of Illinois, the Chios were the tall, blonde, blue-eyed, green-eyed women that didn't look at guys like me or my fraternity brothers. So I have no idea what those presidents were like.
Okay. First of all,
Uh-huh.
I am 5'10", barefoot, 5'10". And of course, we've already discussed my natural blondness here.
Yes, yes.
You know, first of all, I hate if they were a little, what's the word we're going to use? Uppity. Sometimes that happens. But, you know,
College.
well, yeah, in that age, you know,
Right.
you just can't get enough of yourself. But to answer your question, no, it was nothing like that. Nothing.
Okay.
You know, fraternities and sororities are different. I mean, truly. And there are lots of things that come out of fraternities, but sororities are very, you know, we had study hours. Everybody had to log so many hours in Ekstrom, the library at U of L, so many hours per week, and you had to have certain grades. We always had the highest GPA on campus for sorority.
Really?
It was very, very different. But as far as the partying, actually, one of the things that I did while I was president in Louisville, IBC root beer had just arrived on the scene.
Okay.
You're going to say, what's this have to do with anything?
No, I'm sure it does.
Well, you know, it comes in a brown bottle. It looks like a beer bottle. So one of the things that I did during my presidency was say, you know what? You're not going to drink an IBC root beer out of the bottle because I don't like the way it looks. It's not the image that we want to project. It's not what we're all about.
It's not what a Caio is.
It's not what a Caio does. That's right. So there you go.
So you had frosted mugs.
You know, I just knew they weren't drinking it out of the bottle, you know, when I was around. And our house, they have, I think, since changed things at U of L, but U of L, there's some areas around campus that are maybe a little sketchier. And so at that time, houses were not residential. The houses were built in, you know, 1890. I think the Caio house was built in, I don't even remember, but long time ago.
Right.
And so some of the wood was rotting and it was hard to secure. So we actually weren't allowed to spend the night in the house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So do sororities, see, I haven't thought about, every year we have a fraternity reunion. This year it got canceled because of pandemic.
Yeah.
So, you know, you are my Greek experience this year. Did you all have Hell Week? Because our Hell Week, I cannot talk about. Sworn to silence. Can't tell you anything, but we had it.
You know, again, fraternities and sororities are different.
No real Hell Week.
None of that stuff is legal. None of that stuff is
legal. Yeah.
I mean, does stuff go on? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Great answer.
Let's talk about the Greek goddess. I'd rather talk about that.
Not that I can recall. Oh, okay. So a head human resourcing, or human resources, excuse me. When everything got shut down, where were you providing staff? Amazon?
You know, and I'm sorry, what did you say? Did you say Amazon?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I do not have a relationship with Amazon. Actually, we were working significantly more than I thought. And it was just an education for me. I guess I didn't truly understand the concept of essential workers. So, you know, when all of this hit, I thought I'm going to go down to, we gauge our progress or our success in hours, the hours that we bill weekly.
Right.
I'm going to go down to 1,000 hours, if even that, because I don't have anyone who's essential. Well, it turns out, yes, I did. Okay. This printing company who is printing things for the government, who's doing, you know, I've got this and that. So it was really eye-opening for me to just see how things connect, how everything is just woven together. And thankfully, we still had a significant number of people working. Now, were we where we, you know, normally are? Of course not. But, and, you know, one of the things we work with the school system here, and, you know, that was a pretty big hit.
Okay.
But we did okay. You know, we absolutely have kept the lights on and the doors open.
So at the school system, are you providing lunchroom monitors? Are you providing teachers? What are you providing?
You know what I provide for Jefferson County Public Schools? I provide groundskeepers.
Oh,
So
okay.
the guys who are mowing and weed eating and, you know, debris removal, doing all of that. That didn't happen well, actually, I've got a handful of guys now who have gone back and started doing that. But the big thing that we do year round, typically, are the school custodians. So if you want to be a custodian, I'm going to be your person. Okay.
Really? See, now I
I
thought
into your industry there, Sean.
yeah, I thought all the custodians at JCPS were union employees.
You know what? Here's where I'm going to tell you, I don't know about the union status. They may
Okay.
be after they are hired in because it's a temp to hire situation.
Okay.
They do. But, you know, they come in through us and they have not been doing that. Obviously, the schools, you know, are not occupied right now.
Right.
So
Well,
that has been a big hit. I'm sorry?
And they're probably cleaner. Instead of shifting the dirt around, there is no dirt.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, that will be back when, you know, when they decide to go back to school in person.
So what would you say is the greatest thing you have learned about perseverance since the middle of March?
Okay, Sean, you and I both are privileged to be a part of a fantastic group of people called Megamind.
Indeed.
And I think that, well, first of all, I've learned a ton about perseverance, and 90% of that probably came from interaction with other Megaminds, just our conversations, our ideas, our brainstorming. And, you know, you just can't stop. You can't stop. The world, many parts of the world stopped, you know, during
Yes.
the pandemic. And, you know, I guess that's a decision you can make if that's something that you're willing to do. That is not something that I'm willing to do. You know,
Sure.
what can we do? You know, I hate to use the word pivot. It's been used to death. But what can we do that's still going to make us viable, that is going to continue to propel us forward? Because I'm not stopping. Okay?
No,
My company is not stopping.
that's
So
right.
what can I do? I can either roll over and play like I'm dead, or let's figure this out. So, you know, some of that's been from my experience. I've been in staffing for 25 years now. But then, you know, again, these conversations with people who maybe we're not in the same industry, but you know, you've got this problem, and how are we going to work this out? So we've been successful in doing that. Now we're actually, even with things like JCPS not coming into play, we are now ahead of where we were pre-COVID as far as business that we're doing. Yes. And you know, people have often said that the temporary services, the temporary employee industry is a good indicator of, you know, where the job market is going. And this time last month, I probably had 15 open jobs. Before I came down here to do this broadcast with you today, I had 78.
78?
78, yes.
So that brings me to my next question from my cousin Sari in Vegas. I own a staffing service, and my business has been crushed. And her staffing service is a catering staffing service. I do events and parties, and my 3 largest clients are still shut down. Do you think business will return? Do I need to reinvent myself or hold on to a business I built for 16 years? And she's in Las Vegas. And Sari, you're going to be a guest on the show because your world travels are interesting. We'll figure out a date. So, Michelle, you're in a similar industry as Sari. What should Sari do?
Okay, Sari, do you do hospitality staffing? Is that what you're doing? Are you just doing special events? Yeah, I'm assuming you're doing banquet servers,
Yes.
that kind of thing.
Servers, bartenders,
Cooks, and chefs. Girl, I don't know. I would love to have some conversation with you after this, and maybe we can come up with something together. My finger is not in that pie. I don't do anything even remotely similar to that. I've got folks in distribution centers and warehouses and production facilities, and we do white collar as well, but certainly our bread and butter is blue collar. I don't know. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know when that's going to open back up. I know hotels in Louisville are currently still, for the most part, still shuttered.
Oh, yeah.
The big ones downtown, where all of the events are. So I don't know. I don't want to tell you that I don't have an answer, but I have no idea.
I will hook the two of you up with a messenger so you guys connect.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Afterwards, because I would think if Sari's been able to build a business in that specific niche, which is it's a temp service niche, I think, maybe with the two of you talking, maybe you can assist her in brainstorming a flex. Here, we'll use a word other than pivot. A flex to another niche.
Yeah.
That with the skill set
she
has, she can still go out and crush it like she has for years and years.
Let's do it.
So back to leadership. Randy talking about you from one Randy to another. That is because you are a leader, a make it happen attitude. So when you wake up in the morning, as we all do, and every day we say, I'm going to go get it. I'm going to make things happen. It's going to be good. And then on those occasional days, you're like, occasional. Okay. I'm not saying every day, but there's times where, you just say, I need a minute. And I needed a minute the other day and it turned into 7 minutes. 7 minutes isn't bad to get my act back together.
Right.
How do you get over the minute? When you need a minute?
Sean, you and I both have been on this earth for a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
And you know what you need. And I know when I'm productive and contributing to whatever I have going on, and I know when I'm not. And I know when sometimes I need to step back. Maybe it's just sit by myself in a room for a while. Maybe it's listen to a song. I'm very strong in my faith.
Mm-hmm.
It's, talk to God. Usually that's what it is.
Okay.
It's okay to do that. It's
Yep.
okay to do that. And that's what you do. Again, you just do it. And until you do that, you're not really going to be worth anything to anyone or yourself. You have to recollect yourself. Just do it. Just do it. I don't know that I would, something I'm not even going to say that. I was going to say, I don't know that I would say, take 2 weeks. You have to do what works for you because like I said, no one knows you better than yourself. So,
I was talking to someone yesterday who shall remain nameless and he was struggling with his job. And I was telling him, you got to find something that breaks up your day, whether you can break it up for half an hour and host a live stream and gain knowledge from, friends you've made over the years like this and pontificate to the world. Mm-hmm. I'd have never thought I would be doing this back in March. Or if you're just taking little breaks throughout the day and doing something that is encouraging, not playing video games, not watching a stupid video, but, doing something that pours into you. So what that brings to me is, who are, other than the mega minds, because that's too easy an answer for you, who do you listen to that is an encouragement to you?
Can I have more than one answer?
Yes.
Okay. My mother.
Okay.
My father. I am blessed at my age that I still have just healthy, thriving parents. And
absolutely.
And I'm an only child, so I don't share them with anyone. My parents and my children.
Okay.
Children are both wise. Okay. They're great kids. obviously I love them, but I like them too. Okay. And even when they were, small little guys, Sean, I always taught them and I always thought that what they had to say was very important.
Mm-hmm.
It needed to be listened to and considered. So them and then I have some really close friends as well that I just treasure. So and some of those folks are in Megamind as well.
Indeed.
Not all. There are certainly Megamind friends, but yeah.
Yeah, when I'm walking the dog in the morning, and if I need to get my attitude straight, I will either listen to the Megamind postings that I've missed from the day before. There's a preacher named Kenneth Copeland that I'll listen to his stuff on YouTube, and various other sundry folks looking for positive things. The people that post on Facebook, oh, it's so bad. Oh, this is so bad. I mean, I love the snooze button, and something tells me you're a master of the snooze button too.
I am. I just don't have time for that. I don't even watch, well, I don't watch much television. If I watch television at all, it's going to be like the Andy Griffith Show. Okay.
Yeah.
Something that I can sit there and just laugh and it's light and it's uplifting. I'm not going to watch a crime drama. There's enough going on in the world that I don't need in my leisure time for entertainment to be bombarded with that. But if that's your thing, then that's cool. But it's not mine. I will find myself after watching something like that, my hands are clenched like this and I'm thinking, wait a minute, this is my leisure time and this is what I'm doing. So yeah, I don't like that. People accuse me of being, there's a word that they use and it escapes me at the moment, but I only post the good stuff on Facebook,
It's the highlight reel.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see, it kills me when people have, oh, I had surgery. Here's my incision. Oh, my son had a skateboard wreck and here's his leg all laid open. I don't get that.
What everyone knows Facebook is supposed to be the highlight reel. So yes, we all have crap in our lives and I'm not going to share it on Facebook.
No, and you don't want to know my crap anyway. So, or some people do. And then that's a whole other, that's a whole other show, Sean. So
yeah, that is just ridiculous. Yeah. All right. So we've actually gone almost 31 minutes.
Uh-oh.
Shocking as it is, it blew by. So for the next 2 minutes, what do you want people to walk away with from Michelle? What imprint do you want to make upon them?
Sean, I hope that I consider myself, as we were just discussing, to be a very positive person.
Mm-hmm.
And we hope that people will leave with that memory of me. I like to have a good time. I like to laugh, but I also take care of business. And you can absolutely do both of those things. Okay. You have to have a healthy mix. Like I said, sometimes you have to pull, like you said, sometimes you have to pull back and look at that and maybe readjust or refocus. And that's okay. But just keep going. Just keep going. Just don't stop moving.
Keep going, readjust and refocus. I like that. Pull back, readjust, refocus. Oh, I'm learning so much from my friends. It's a great day. Anyways, everyone, this is my friend, Michelle Jessee Vincent. If you need temporary labor, temporary to hire, call her, contact her on Facebook, contact her on LinkedIn. If you can't find her, contact me. I'll put you in touch with her. Michelle, thank you so much for being on the show today. I hope you had as much fun as I did.
I had a big time, Sean. Thank you.
Awesome. Everyone be blessed and have a great day.
Thanks.